What is going on?
Holy shit, I'm Angel, and this is my rant and ramble on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth after playing it and finishing it. Spoiler warning, of course, I will be discussing a lot of plot points. If you haven't finished the game, honestly, you should by this time. The game's been out for, almost a month at this time? Yeah, I think so. Alright, so first off, making this video was hard because after finishing the game, I was left with a weird feeling of longing. Something I honestly don't think I have ever felt before after playing a game. Like, if I hadn't finished it yet. Because I think, like, I really just wanted more after I finished it. Because, yeah, like the game obviously ended up open. Because there's gonna be a third part. There's gonna be a finale. So it ended up open. The first one ended up open as well. But this one, like, really left me, like, wanting to keep playing. That said, and this is gonna sound a little bit like, oh yeah, you're just saying that because you just finished it. But no, like, I honestly think this is probably one of the best video games I have ever played, if not the best video game I have ever played, because of the game. Not so much about the story. The story was great, mind you, but just the gameplay aspect and like the gameplay cycle of it was actually really good. So it took me around 110 hours to beat the game, but I did everything that I could that wasn't post-game as it unlocked. So when I would play and something new to discover would unlock, I would go discover it. I kept playing. As soon as a new side quest would open, I would just go and do it. That's how I usually play open world games, you know? I play everything as it's unlocked. I don't leave things for later. I just do them at the moment. That's just how I've always been with open world games, and that's how I did it for this one. That's why it took me about 110 hours to beat the game. They said that doing everything was gonna take about 100 hours. They lied. It takes way more. So when I finished the post game, I ended it about 130 hours. That was doing every single content that did not require hard mode, mind you. I did every possible thing I could that wasn't chapters in hard mode or Shatley's hard mode trials. That I didn't do, cause I did it for remake, and honestly I didn't really enjoy myself. It felt more like a chore, like something I had to do for bragging rights basically, and honestly I didn't enjoy it. It just felt like busy work. I just wanted to have fun, so I decided not to do hard mode because I already finished the game. I played the game in dynamic mode. For those of you that don't know, and if you don't know what are you doing watching my video? Hello, my love. I know you're watching. My wife usually watches my videos. Anyways, but yeah, for those of you that, well, for my wife that needs the explanation, dynamic mode is when every single enemy scales with you. So it doesn't matter what level you are, every single fight is gonna be a very fair fight. And I enjoyed that. That was really fun that the game had that option. So the whole game I played it in dynamic mode. So I didn't feel, honestly, that I needed to do hard mode because, you know, like, hard mode is just like false difficulty. Things hit harder, things have more health, and you don't have items. Which I think is lame because, like, items are like an integral part to the game, I feel. Especially when there's materia that functions directly with items and then you don't have items anymore. Plus there's items to, you know, create. You have item creators, and you can't use, like, you can use your item creation services in the game, but you don't really need to use them because you can't use items. I think that was lame. You could have had the hard mode and kept items in. I probably wouldn't have played it anyways. So I didn't feel like any part of the game overstayed its welcome. So that felt very refreshing. It felt really good because it felt like I was just discovering new things all the fucking time. And as I was playing, any area I would go in, it was just like, yeah, this feels good. This feels good to traverse through. However, I wish the trailers for the game hadn't spoiled so much of it. The game still had a bunch of surprises, starting off as Zack. I think it's fair to believe that, or fair to say actually, that nobody expected that. Maybe some of us were expecting that you would start off as Zack, but in the Nibelheim flashback, if they wanted to do like a weird thing. But none of us expected to start off with Zack in Sector 5 rescuing Aerith. That was pretty cool. We knew that was gonna happen because again the fucking trailer spoiled that, but we didn't know we were gonna actually play as him and actually use him in combat. Obviously Zack's combat is not like in Crisis Core, it would have been weird if it was. However, I did miss the whole activating combat mode voice line, but that's just me. So no Zack or Sephiroth in post game that you can use, except in some trials, but like whatever, it's hard mode so I didn't care. So the PC mod community is gonna have a blast because I know they're just gonna add Zack and Sephiroth into the game because they actually have synergy abilities with Cloud. They actually have like mechanics, like they have their own unique mechanics like every single other character. They're completely fleshed out characters. They don't have a lot of abilities, but they honestly don't need to. So that's pretty cool that they designed them completely. I just like would have wished to be able to use them in the regular game and just, you know, go and fight the Midgar Sormer with Zack and Sephiroth. That would have been fun. Let's discuss a little bit about the gameplay now. The gameplay obviously was insanely fun, as I mentioned before. Giving all the character access to elemental magic abilities was a stroke of genius, I feel. As you play the game, you get the folios and you can spend points, and honestly one of the first things you should buy is just the magical abilities, because you get elemental magic, and sometimes enemies you have to use elemental magic to pressure them. And this way you don't feel yourself obligated to equip fire on everybody, etc, etc. Of course you're still gonna equip Aerith with actual magic materia because she's just amazing using it, right? I like how weapons leveled up this time around more. It was more streamlined. When weapon leveled up, they would just like get increased stats and get abilities that you could equip. That was cool. They could get more materia slots. But you know, like the whole cherry picking things for your characters was still there through the folios, as I mentioned before. You could like get things like more critical chance or more HP, more MP, things like that. But like I said, like unlocking the synergy skills, it should be priority afterwards the elemental skills, so you have more options in combat. Every single character was very fun to play as. So it was really hard to choose a favorite. I stuck around with Cloud more because it's just like what I'm used to. But I'm very excited for the new characters in the next game. Really am. I was surprised how fun Cait Sith actually was. And how fucking busted he is. He can increase enemy stagger damage really fucking high. Really fucking fast. Traversal was really fun. Using the buggy was awesome. I obviously we expected to see it because again it was in the fucking trailers, but it was fun. It was fun to use it through the Corel region. Sadly we couldn't use it past the Corel region, couldn't use it in the Gongaga region, but it was fine. It was still fun to use. The tiny Bronco exploring the seas was fuck, man, like that shit was amazing. When I unlocked that feature, I could like get in the tiny Bronco and explore the seas and literally go from Junon to Costa del Sol and from Costa del Sol to Nibelheim on the tiny Bronco in the sea. I literally looked at my wife and my girlfriend and I told them, I feel like I am 8 years old again. This shit just feels magical. You don't have to do it, honestly, because you can just like fast travel to anywhere you want almost at any point in the game. That's why the game is like genuinely it's open world. Usually, unless you're doing something that you're stuck somewhere, the game is open at any time. Like when you're in Nibelheim and you're not doing the Nibelheim main quest, you just arrive to the Nibelheim, talk to a couple of people, and then the game tells you fast travel is now available. You can go from Nibelheim to the grasslands to Calm. You can go from Nibelheim to Billy Chocobob's Chocobo Billy farm. You know, you can go from Nibelheim to Junon. You can just fast travel that much, and that's pretty fucking awesome because it's an actual open world game. We haven't seen like something like this vast and this open in a long time. Not that I can remember, or at least not that I played. But this was really fucking fun that you could do it. So you didn't need to use the chocobos. You didn't need to use the buggy that much. You didn't need to use the tiny bronco, but it was sure as fuck fun to use. That's something that a lot of open world games lose, I feel. Once you get fast traveling, you usually are not traversing places that you've gone through before, because you've gone through before. Why would you not just fast travel? But this game honestly made fast traveling a non-issue because it was actually and genuinely fun to go from place to place with either a chocobo, sometimes even walking, the buggy when you're in the Coral region, and yeah, definitely with the fucking tiny bronco when you're in the open seas. That was so fucking fun. So every map, like in any other open world game, had many collectibles to get, but they kept it fresh every time in every different region. Like getting chocobos was different in each region. Riding chocobos was really fun, as I mentioned before. Accessing the towers that pointed to places in the map, like in every single other open world game has, it was different in each one. Because at the bottom of each tower, there was always a fight. Enemies obviously were always different. But the tower layouts, the layout for the towers were always different. Sometimes the doohickey you needed to use to scan the area was on the first floor. Sometimes it was on the second floor. Sometimes it was on the third floor. Sometimes you would go up using an escalator. Sometimes you would go up using a pole or climbing. Sometimes you would actually use a chocobo to glide towards it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was almost like each individual tower was a puzzle. The only exploration piece that remained the same through every single region and every time you did it was the live stream fountains, which it was just press triangle 3 times and it was the same timing every time. It was less than 10 seconds doing it every time as well, so like it was like whatever. But it made me wonder, like, why even have it? Just like let me scan it once and that's it, because like it was superfluous. Okay. So yeah, going back to combat, it was really fun with all the synergy options you got, like the fact that you didn't need to wait for your ATB to fill up to use your abilities, because you could just use abilities, synergy abilities with characters at any moment. That was really cool. And also, like, the ATB gauge went up really fast this time, so that was also a non-issue. It was much faster than in the previous game as well. And of course, using the big synergy abilities that were basically cinematics. Oh, that was so fucking cool. Now, let's enter into the minigames. Holy shit, there were so many of them. First of all, Queen's Blood. It was really fun, the card game. I feel it was much better than Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII. And I feel the only reason people are gonna say that Triple Triad is better is because Triple Triad was way simpler and way more smooth brain. Because it was just like higher number against higher number, whatever. But in Queen's Blood, you actually had a sense of strategy as you were building your decks. Not only when you were playing, you actually had strategy when you were building decks, because you could have a deck that was based around one mechanic. So like it was really fleshed out. I just went with big numbers, man. Big numbers and like a couple of combo abilities. But yeah, like it was really fun. I'm very happy with that. Do I want it to come back for the third one? That's okay. It's okay. I'll talk more about how I feel about more minigames later on. Some minigames were a little bit annoying. The Fort Condor and the robot minigames in hard mode were a bit bullshitty. But again, those were in hard mode. I did do those in hard mode because they were just minigames. Some of the Chocobo gliding stages, to get the best score, was the timing was very precise. So that was a bit annoying as well. Oh, and another one that I really didn't like a lot, but I did it anyways. Jules is back from the first game, the guy that had you doing squats and the pull-up challenge. That I know a lot of people to this day have not been able to do the pull-up challenge. He came up with he came back with a new one, an ab crunch challenge, and it was frustrating as fuck. You didn't have any wiggle room to fail when you were fighting or when you're competing against Jules. And like instead of using the face buttons, you would use the 4 shoulder buttons to do the ab crunches, and it was a bit annoying. I was surprised I actually did it in less than 15 minutes. Took me a fuckload of tries. That's another thing. One of the best things about this game for the minigames is at any moment you can pause the game and you can restart the minigame. Every single video game with minigames should do that. Not waiting for me to fail, then see a cutscene, then talk to the person again to retry, or see a cutscene and then get asked if I want to retry. No, let me retry from the same game. You know, like I enjoyed this. I know I'm gonna lose, so let me just pause the game and just retry. I love it. I love it like that. Like that is some good game design, man. So I did that a lot against Jules. But even with my complaining about the minigames, the beautiful thing is you don't have to do them. You don't. You miss out on a couple of items, sure, but it's nothing you need to finish the game. Even the weapons, if you miss out on weapons, you can just buy them off a vendor in the next chapter. So it's a non-issue if you're not like OCD like I am and I feel like I have to finish everything. You can pace yourself. The Gold Saucer, of course, as we were all expecting, it was an amazing collection of minigames. To pass the fighting minigame, because you know, like you had the bicycle minigame, but you also had again the fucking fighting minigame that in the original game was a bit of a nightmare to be able to do it because it was just rock paper scissors, right? And it was just luck based. And this one is similar, but you can actually pause the game when the enemy's about to strike you to know where to dodge to. So honestly, that made the whole fighting minigame piss easy, and I was happy that I like found that out as I was playing, because I was like, I couldn't read it, so I couldn't read where the enemy was gonna attack, so I paused it to just retry. But then I saw the enemy and like, wait, like now I know I just need to press this button to dodge. Can I do this every time they're gonna attack me? And yeah, they can. Yeah, you can. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like I don't have to think that much anymore. That's awesome. Besides the minigames, the game had a lot of side quests. I feel the side quests didn't overstay their welcome for the most part. There was one side quest that it's infamous at this point. A lot of people don't like it. It is the chicken side quest in Gongaga. And even that one, with how annoying it was, the ending of it was well worth it. If you know, you know. The ending of it was well worth that crappy side quest. I like how each side quest was tied to one of the characters. That was really fun. So you could get like relationship points with them and a couple of items with them. That was really cool. And in total, I think the side quest total to over 80. I like to say it was well over 80. I don't think it gets to 100, but it's really damn close to 100, I feel. And again, that's a fuckload of side quests, and I know that can be daunting to a lot of people, but the beauty of it is you don't have to do them, and much less you don't have to do them as you're progressing through the game. That's what I did. I unlocked the minigame, I unlocked the side quest, I unlocked the side quest, so I just did it. You don't have to do it that way. You can literally wait to the end of the game to do all the side quests if you want. No side quest gets locked. Like, you don't have to wait to New Game Plus and be able to choose your chapter to go back to a chapter to do a side quest. You can just do any side quest at any moment after you unlock it. And that is pretty awesome. You can leave a side quest open in calm in the beginning of the game and do it before the end of the game. That's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. I wish more games had things like that, because I know a lot of people have, you know, video game FOMO, and if I can't do a side quest and then it gets locked, I get stressed out. This game like does not have that, and I love that. I want to touch upon music quickly. The music in the game, of course, was fucking phenomenal. A lot of remix themes from the previous games, obviously, from the original game. They brought back a lot of music from remake. They even had a remade version of the Sector 5 Slums from remake, and that was pretty awesome. You know, like the hollow music from Sector 5 Slums. They had a remake of that one for this game in a specific area, and that was fucking masterful. So the music was amazing. The music was great. One thing that just like I was like I wanted more. The Red 13, it's hard to walk on two legs theme from the boat in the original game wasn't in the boat. It was relegated to side quest, which was annoying because like if you don't go to that side quest, you're never gonna listen to that one. But I was happy when because I got annoyed. I can't believe that we have the fucking boat scene. Red 13 is wearing a Shinra outfit, he's walking in two legs, and you don't give me it's hard to walk on 2 feet. I love that song. So that annoyed me. But eventually when they put it on, I was like, okay, here it is. It's on a side quest, so it's missable if you don't do the side quest, but you know, at least it's there. The one that annoyed me is that, but this is a personal thing, we didn't have enough Crisis Core music. I wanted more Crisis Core music. We got one, but I believe the Crisis Core soundtrack is very underrated. They should have done more with that one. I wish I could have had more. Of course, Sephiroth got a new One-Winged Angel theme because like now basically every time he appears it's just gonna have to have a new one. Even like a slowed version. They combined those chosen by the planet with One-Winged Angel. That's pretty cool with the chorus. They actually also sort of combine the weapon problem, you know, the theme for the weapons in the original game with a little bit of One-Winged Angel too. That's they really milking that theme. But you know what? I don't mind because it sounded amazing. Let's talk a little bit about the story, and first I want to talk about some fights first. The Rufus fight was fucking bullshit, and it was probably the fight I disliked the most. And I believe it was even more bullshit than in the original game. Because, not in the original game, in the first game, in Remake. Because Rufus he was overclocked this time. He was way faster than he was before. And he would counter almost everything you would do. The fight was annoying. The dragon boss fight in the temple, while it wasn't hard, mechanically wise, I think it was bullshit. Because it's a dragon, and he uses fire-based attacks. You know, a fire explosion, a fire breath, a fireball, magma, but none of that deals fire damage. It deals untyped magical damage, and that to me sounds like a really bad game design or a really bad dungeon master. Let me just cheese the boss. Come on, we have materia. The whole point of the materia system is to like make the game easier, you know, give you a bunch of tools to use. Like that's the whole point of the materia system. If we're gonna fight a dragon, let me equip my elemental materia and my armor slot with fire, and let me absorb all that fire. Let me have that moment, because you know, like leveling up materia takes a while, right? So just let players cheese things, right? Give them at least one. So I think that was lame as a game design choice. The Vincent fight was probably the hardest fight, but it was extremely fun. At least to me, it was the hardest, even harder than Sephiroth. In the first game, I thought Sephiroth was the hardest fight in Remake, but in Rebirth, I think Vincent was the hardest fight of the whole game. And that's a really fun thing, that you actually get to fight Vincent, because he still has this mentality that he works for Shinra, right? He, deep down inside, he still feels like a Turk. So you fight him, he turns into the Galleon Beast, and you actually fight Vincent. It's a really hard fight, and I loved it. I loved the fuck out of that fight. Then you fight, at the end, you fight Bizarro Sephiroth, which was a joy to see in this game, because Bizarro Sephiroth is one of the last bosses in the original game from 1997. Seeing him in 3D and actually doing the whole, you have to destroy each pieces with different teams, like in the original game, that was really, really cool that they found a way to implement that. So since we fought Bizarro here, Bizarro's not gonna be in the last game anymore, so what I'm hoping is that in the third game we're gonna fight Genova Synthesis, which is the last Genova fight, and after Genova Synthesis we just go straight, you know, after a cutscene, we go straight to Safer Sephiroth. You know, the one with the fuckload of wings. And I hope that it's gonna be a huge spectacle fight with a bunch of like cinematic moments during the fight. It would make sense, because it's Sephiroth with a wing instead of an arm, and he has 6 wings instead of feet, and it's fucking crazy, and I love it. So I'm really looking forward to that in the third game. Another story beat that I want to talk about that was, I know it weirded out a couple of people, and it weirded out me as well when I saw it. Sid Highwind. He was such a cool character this time around. It was jarring, because we're used to Sid being an asshole during the game, right? He beats up his assistant slash girlfriend, Shiera, in the original game. But in this one, he's a really fucking nice guy. Yeah, sure, he has a slight temper when like Barrett ticks him off, but most of the time he's just really cool and really nice. And it's really cool that they tied him to Aerith, because he knew it'd fallen on his mother, her mother. He knew Aerith's mother. That was really cool. What I'm guessing is that they're probably gonna do in the third game is that Sid's asshole nature is gonna creep up, especially once we get to the Rocket Town area of the planet. Maybe once we enter Rocket Town, he's gonna start acting strangely because he doesn't like that area, and it reminds him of his past, and angst. Maybe. And kind of hopefully, because, you know, one of the reasons I like Sid is because he had a lot of character development, especially when he discovered, oh, I'm the asshole. Once Sid discovers he's an asshole, he changes for the better, and I love that for him in the original game. So I hope they don't take that away from us, because it was really good character development. Now, a point of contention in the story is the whole alternate timelines angle that they did, and I feel personally that it was handled gracefully. It wasn't blatant in our faces, like it raised a lot of questions and sort of answered a couple of them. So the whole timeline thing, alternate timeline thing, was very, very interesting. I remember people saying once the first game came out that the whole Stamp, the dog looking differently in Zack's timeline, was a red herring. And I'm like, it's not a red herring, it's an alternate timeline. That's why it's there. And it was confirmed in this game because you actually see different stamps from different timelines. So that's how you could tell that you were in a different timeline. So that was really cool. Excuse me. Now, I was always looking forward to another Zack scene. You have very few Zack scenes spread around the game. I wish we would have had more, and I wish we could have interacted with the world more as Zack, and I wish we could have fought more as Zack, but it is what it is, sadly. Hopefully in the third game we'll have more, but I was really looking forward to each one. Made me happy. Oh, and having Zack team up with Cloud to fight Sephiroth at the end. Dude, fuck yeah. Like, it's something we've been wanting to do for a long time. I love that Zack's limit break is actually his Angel limit break beatdown. Beatdown rush from Crisis Core. That was oh man, that was so cool. and the synergy attack that he has with Cloud. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! It's just so, it was just so good to see. Like they got it. They Square Enix, they understood the assignment that they set out for themselves, right? So from what I understood, Aerith is dead in the main timeline. I know a lot of people are annoyed because we didn't see Cloud releasing Aerith into the water like in the original game. But I understand why they did it, because Aerith is still alive in an alternate reality, in a different world, as they call them in this game. Aerith is still alive in a different world. And Cloud knows that because he can see her. So after she died, because that's the thing, we didn't have the whole Cloud screaming at Sephiroth, she's not gonna laugh, she's not gonna cry anymore. You know, like that gut-wrenching scene from the original game. We didn't get that. Cloud just destroyed because Sephiroth killed her. Because in Cloud's mind, she might be dead here, but she's still alive in a different world because I can see her. So that was a very interesting choice. I feel they're really pulling into the whole Cloud is an unreliable narrator thing way more than the original game. And I think it's pretty awesome. Oh, because fuck, dude, like, I did not think they were gonna go there. Tifa actually confronts Cloud and she's like, where were you? You were not in Nibelheim. I was there. And Cloud is like, yes, I was. I saw you die. Are you even Tifa? And Tifa gets so fucking offended. I'm like, yes, girl. Kick his ass. So that was really cool. And eventually, Aerith and Tifa confront Cloud. Do you know Zack? And Cloud actually turns into an asshole because he's jealous of Zack. He's like, no, like, a dude like that, after 5 years, he's probably dead. He's an asshole. He never contacted you. I'm like, bruh. Holy shit, dude. But then, when you're in Nibelheim, they added something new that Cloud remembers Zack in Nibelheim? Bruh. I was, what? And then he goes to Tifa and he tells her, I remember Zack. And Tifa's like, what? You what? And it's like, I remember Zack, he died. I need to tell Aerith. And Tifa's like, let me tell her. No, it's okay, Cloud, let me tell her. Shit, man. Oh, that was so fucking, because everybody thinks, right? Like, the way things are, everybody thinks that Cloud's fucking crazy. But I like that they have, like, a trapping for it. It's the degradation. Everybody's like, Cloud's going crazy because of the soldier degradation. And I'm like, yes, play into that. The beauty of it is, Cloud can't be degrading. He can't suffer from that. The only two people that were perfect soldiers were Cloud and Zack. That was the whole point of it. I think Angeal as well. Yeah, I think Angeal as well. But like the perfect like S clones were Cloud and Zack. They can't degrade. Cloud, however, you know, like he's very susceptible to Mako poisoning, so that's why, you know, he's been like a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh man, but Cloud, like remembering things weirdly and remembering Zack and Nibelheim, and then like he remembers the dude that drowned, that was sent down the river at the beginning of the game, and I'm like, I hope they do something with that dude, and they did, but not with the dude exactly. Because then Cloud remembers that scene, but not with a random Shinra infantryman, sorry. He doesn't remember the random Shinra infantryman going down river. He remembers Zack going down river and dying, and Cloud's like, oh shit, Zack's dead. He was my best friend! I'm like, oh fuck, like Cloud, you're so close. You are so close, but you're still in denial, dude. You're still in denial. You were never that cool. You're cool now. Oh man. Oh, and when you're in Zack's world, that he talks to Biggs, because Biggs is alive in that one. But that one confused me because it made it seem that that was the Biggs from the main timeline, right? Because the way it was shown, it's like the Whispers took away Biggs from the main timeline and they put him in Zack's timeline. Because when Biggs is talking to Zack, he's like, oh, don't worry, because how long has Cloud been like that? And Zack's like, oh, for a while now. It's Mako poisoning, it's really severe. And Biggs is like, oh, but you know Cloud, he's gonna wake up eventually and then he's just gonna act like nothing happened, because you know Cloud is a badass. And Zack is like, are we talking about the same person here? Because that is not the Cloud I know. And Biggs is like, oh yeah, you know, like Cloud, you know, like big mercenary dude, and, like, you should be a mercenary like Cloud. That's what Biggs tells Zack. You should be a mercenary like Cloud. Cloud will show you the ropes, because Cloud's the man. Cloud is fucking amazing. And Zack is like, what the fuck is going on? Just seeing the characters as confused as we are, cathartic. Fucking cathartic. That is just such a good thing to do. It's like, you know, like the players are fucking confused. Let's make the characters confused as well. I loved it. I fucking loved it. So like, it made me wonder, is this Biggs the same Biggs from the main timeline? Because he remembers Cloud being a mercenary, and during everything that's happening, they do mention there was a mercenary ex-soldier with Avalanche, and he had a big buster sword. And we don't know who they're referring to. Apparently, they're referring to Cloud, but Cloud is with Zack. So like, there's something weird going on and happening. Plus, the world is ending in Zack's timeline. Because like, there's a weird rift in the sky. And where there's a Sephiroth, like, explained, if there's a weird rift in the sky, that means not Sephiroth. I think it was Aerith that explained it. If there's a weird rift in the sky, that means that the world is going to end. This world, because remember, alternate realities are called worlds in this game, because the planet is one, but the planet can have many different worlds. I know it's a little bit weird to understand, but at least I could understand it because I actually played around with similar nomenclature and similar ideas in different tabletop role-playing games that I have ran in the past. So like, to me, it kind of made sense, right? So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I imagine in the third game we're gonna see more of the Aerith that's alive. Because at the end of the game, Cloud tells people, don't look at the sky, and Barrett's like, now I gotta look up. And he sees nothing, but Cloud, we can see from Cloud's point of view, he can see a rift in the sky. Nobody else can see it. Why? We're not entirely sure, right? But Cloud can see the rift in the sky, and that rift means that the world is going to end. Maybe in the third game, everybody's gonna move from that world to the world where Aerith is, where she's not dead, or she's gonna cross from that world where she's alive to the world where she's dead, and the sky is going to fix itself. We don't know. There's a lot we can speculate in this game. There's so much we can speculate in this game. They changed a lot of things in the game, as they usually do for remakes. They changed a fuckload. I think every change they did was very purposeful. It served its purpose, and I think it was handled well. The one, honestly, from everything that they changed, the one that weirded me out the most was them moving the Temple of the Ancients from the wooden area that was in an island to where Bone Village usually is in the world map. They switch, you know, like Bone Village is not there anymore. That's the Temple of the Ancients now. And behind the Temple of the Ancients, it's the ancient capital. And you no longer need the lunar harp to get there. You can just, like, you know, go around the Temple of the Ancients and just, like, keep going straight and you get to the ancient capital. I found that weird. I can understand why, because, like, time constraints, and they didn't want to make a new village. Because if they do a new village, they might want to do, you know, more side quests. I imagine Bone Village will be there for the third game and they'll do something there. I hope so, because Bone Village was fun. Last bit of story I want to discuss right now that I have in my notes is the gondola scenes. They were fun. I'm happy that they gave you a gondola scene for every character. In the original game, the funny one was Barret, but this time around, Barret actually gave you some really nice fatherly advice to Cloud, so that was cool. Aerith has such a beautiful moment because she looks at Cloud and she says, "At the beginning, I would confuse you with Zack because you look and you carry yourself just like Zack." Not really, but okay. And then she tells Cloud, "But you're not him, and that's okay." And then she holds his hand and puts her head on his shoulders. That to me was such a beautifully sweet scene. Because with Tifa, Tifa's like, oh, like, you know, she's hinting at that she likes him. And then Cloud grabs her and gives her a kiss on the lips. But to me, it felt a little bit forced. With Yuffie, it was funny because Yuffie actually admits that she had a crush on Zack, you know? And she asked Cloud if she knew him. And Cloud's like, no, I didn't know him. And she's like, oh, I want to see him again because I have to tell him how I feel. Plus, I know he was just playing with me, letting me win, and I want to get him back for that. And then, like, Cloud gets playful with Yuffie, and I feel like Cloud has better chemistry with Yuffie than he does with Tifa. With Tifa, it's fucking awkward as shit. I don't know if it's the big tits, if it's Tifa's gongagas that have Cloud weirded out. Dude, I don't know. But, like, his chemistry with Tifa is not as good. His chemistry with Aerith is really cute as well. You know, the whole Aerith telling him, you're not him, and that's okay. But his chemistry with Yuffie is, it's cute, but I like to think it's almost, you know, like, big brother, little sister cute. Even though, like, Yuffie gave Cloud a kiss on the cheek like she did in the original game. So that was endearing. Then, the funny scene for the gondola this time is you can actually take Sid, Kate Sith, and Vincent with you. Vincent is just sleeping. Sid is trying to make the best of it, but then he just gets annoyed because Kate Sith is trying to, like, make everything very hunky-dory, and, like, it gets really awkward, but in a really funny way. Then from the gondola scenes, I think the most important one, not the canon one, because the canon one is probably Aerith's scene, but the most important one is the one with Red 13, because Red 13 drops a fucking bomb on the players, not on Cloud, on the players. Yeah, he tells it to Cloud, and Cloud is like, oh wow, oh no wonder, oh that makes so much sense, interesting. But if you saw if you played the first game, the fucking bomb Red 13 drops, he tells Cloud, me and Aerith could see the future. Oh shit, that changes a lot now. Because originally we thought that Aerith was from the future somehow. Right? That she came from the future, possessed this body somehow. And that's why she knew so much. But no, Red 13 confirms the reason Aerith knew so much, the reason Aerith has basically known that she's going to die, the reason Aerith knew where who Marlene was and where the seventh heaven was, the reason Aerith knew all of that is because she could see the future. But after the first game, she can't see the future anymore, and neither can Red 13. Even going as far to tell us those memories from the future, we lost them. We can't remember the future anymore. All the knowledge that we knew from the future, we don't have it anymore. The Whispers took it from us. Holy shit. So, like, I'm speculating, right? That the reason they lost those memories is because probably the worlds those memories came from no longer exist. Those worlds ended. That's what I'm guessing. So maybe the whole live stream coming out to attack Meteor at the end of the original game was a world ending. So, like, if you think about it that way, this is not really a sequel. It's a sidequel. It happened at the same time that the original one happened. Because probably the original game is a world that ended. And if that's the case, Advent Children is probably a different world. Heck, you can go as far as saying that Crisis Core is a different world. Before Crisis is a different world. You could. That's what I'm guessing now. That the OG game was just a different world that ended. And now in this world, the main world that we're playing it in Remake and in Rebirth, is them trying to stop the world from ending. Could be something like that. Like, again, there's so much we can speculate right now. Especially knowing that, like, you know, Aerith wasn't from the future. Maybe it was a future Aerith feeding information to the Aerith from our timeline. But that world doesn't exist anymore. So maybe in Remake, when you're fighting Sephiroth and you see glimpses of meteor falling, they're not witnessing images from the future. Not technically. They're seeing images of something that's happening in the present in a different world. Because maybe the worlds have different times. Right? So maybe what they saw, the meteor that they saw, is actually something that happened in a different world. So that world ended. Which actually comes into play when you're playing as Zack. At the end of the game, when you're playing as Zack and you fight Bizarro Sephiroth and you beat Sephiroth and you're alone as Zack, Zack sees meteor crashing through Aerith's church. You are in Aerith's church and you see meteor coming down and Zack's like, what is going on? And then he gets whisked away into a white void surrounded by white wisps. And then he goes back to his own timeline. And then Zack is like, maybe I'll be able to go back and help them again. And I hope so. Again, there's just so much fucking speculation you can do. It's fucking crazy. Like, the video's right now almost 50 minutes long, and this is the second time I actually have to do this video, and it's actually longer this time. Because I just kept on thinking more and more about the things. Like, let's keep going. Here's a couple of things that I felt were missing. As I mentioned before, we only had one song from Crisis Core, which is like the White Apple song. But I really wanted to hear The Price of Freedom. I really want to hear the price. I hope they have The Price of Freedom in the third game. The truth behind the project wouldn't be bad either. But they're probably gonna shy away from Deep Ground and Genesis. I hope not. Because I kind of missed them this time around. I know I gave them shit, the Deep Ground people, but I kind of missed them. So I hope they do come back. The weird tank Triceratops enemy from Gongaga was nowhere to be seen. In the original game, he was in the Gongaga reactor area. So I was hoping to see it again as a Gongaga boss. The weird tank Triceratops enemy. You know the one. Hopefully we'll face it in the third game. If not, that would be a big shame. Because, like, you know, I like Final Fantasy VII because it has so many weird ass enemies, right? I imagine they didn't do it for this game because since they did it in the first game with Hell House, they didn't want to, you know, law diminishing returns and that stuff. The Shinra Manor was way smaller, but it made sense not to have fights inside the manor because it's just a small manor, so it made sense. They did move the boss fight that you need to do to unlock Vincent. They did move it to a laboratory. There's a hidden lab, huge hidden lab under the mansion, and it's actually like a dungeon type area. So that was cool. They had that there. So I want to talk about my wish list for the next game. Less minigames. During this second game, having all these minigames were fun. I didn't feel they overstayed their welcome. Again, they were optional. You didn't have to do them. I just did it because I'm a completionist in that sense. But less minigames last time. Because it gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming. Less side quests. I feel, because again, I kind of I know this might rub people the wrong way, but I kind of hope the next game is smaller. Like, don't get me wrong, this game was fucking amazing, but not story wise. But I feel like the side stuff, I hope is less next time. I hope the story stuff is more next time, because this game is relatively short. I think you can finish the storyline in like 40 hours probably, which is not bad at all for a mainline game, you know, a AAA game. So the main storyline is like 40 hours long, but like when you add all the side content, that's 70 hours more, you know. I hope next time they, you know, like 50-hour story mode, you know, 50-hour story stuff, 30-hour side stuff, you know, 80 hours in total. I know a lot of people are against that because they just want more, and I understand it because it was really fun. I want more Crisis Core music, like in 74, Genesis maybe. I kind of missed the Ground people this time around. Let's just have them there. I want to see a truck run over Palmer. I need it. I need that shit in my life. Like, I need air. I want to see a truck run over Palmer. I understand that maybe they're not going to do it because they had Palmer this time around. And he was in a mech and it was really fun. Fighting him in the back and then shooting at him with Barrett. That was really fun. And escaping from him. But I like that in the original game. Seeing Palmer getting run over by a random truck. I want to see that again. I want to see Tifa beating the ever-living shit out of Scarlet. Because in the original fight, they have a slap fight. And that's very unlike Tifa. Tifa is a world-class fighter. She wouldn't need to slap someone. She can just punch her. So I want to see Tifa either decking Scarlet. Like, Scarlet slaps her in the face really fucking hard. How dare you? Blah. And then Tifa looks at her and just decks her in the face. Without a second thought. Just decks her in the face. Or in the stomach. And just Scarlet keels over on the side and Tifa just leaves. I want to see less spoilers in the trailer. The trailer for the third game, I want to see less spoilers. Because, fuck. There was many moments in this game that I loved, but I told myself, this would have been really fun to see, without knowing it was coming. Like, I see something that's like, oh, that's really fun. I wish I didn't know about it. I wish this would have been a surprise for me. I know I don't need to see the fucking trailers, but it's really hard not to when you're so invested, right? I need Square Enix to practice self-control instead of me. That's what I need. So here's a couple of things I believe we can expect in the next game. I believe they have enough places left over that they could have a lot of areas, a lot of different regions in the next one. Definitely Rocket Town can be a region. They could do so much with Rocket Town. Obviously expand it to a big city. Something like Calm. Have a lot of stuff around it. Like a lot of old military bases and stuff like that. That would make sense for a place like Rocket Town. Obviously Wutai is gonna be its whole region as well. They already said that Wutai is gonna play an integral part into Chapter 3, into the third game. I don't know how I feel about that because the whole Wutai war thing is like, it's gonna feel like a wet fart. Like, it's there and you have to deal with it, but you kind of wish you didn't have to, right? Because it's, at least from the things that we learned about this game, like the person that's controlling Wutai is sort of implied that it's Rufus. So Rufus is playing against both sides, even though he's controlling both sides. But he's doing it to control the people, right? Because he, you know, like that's whatever. That's just what Rufus does. But then, like, he has like a second in command, and that second in command is a guy that Rufus killed once, but then it's revealed that it's Sephiroth. It's like a Sephiroth clone. To me, that one makes very little sense, because why is Sephiroth doing politics now? It doesn't feel like something he would do, I feel. Mediel is another one that could be a whole region. The Icicle Inn could totally be its own region with its own town and like whole area. That would be really cool. Bone Village could be its own region. That would be pretty damn neat as well. Obviously, we're gonna have an underwater area because there will be a submarine in the third game. So like the whole underwater area could be its whole region as well, with like different pockets you could like probably dock at. That would be really cool. Maybe a made up ancient area as well, something they could do. I want to see more SAC content. I hope that what they had here was not a one and done. It wouldn't make sense. So I want to see more SAC content. We're definitely gonna fly on the high wind on the third game, and that is gonna be hype. That's gonna be a fucking amazing moment. I hope I am alive when that happens, so I really want to do that. Like, one of the reasons originally I was apprehensive to do this video is because doing this video is me coming to terms that the game is over. And now the long wait awaits me. You know, now the long wait begins. Now I have to wait probably 2 to 3 years. I doubt we're gonna have to wait 4 years this time. It's not gonna come out in a year and a half, definitely. But I'm imagining 2.5 to 3 years for the third game to come out, because they already have a lot of the things they have to do. You know, they're gonna use, right? And I think they already mentioned that they planned out the third game completely. Like, they know all the story beats they're gonna do for the third game. But now I have to come to terms that the game is over. As much as I enjoyed that game, it's not gonna hit the same way the second time around. Although now I can just play it, chapter to chapter, ignoring all the side content and just focusing on the story. So that's gonna be fun. Maybe like put it in easy mode this time so I can just steamroll over everything and have fun with that. That could be cool as well. I don't know, man. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet, like the game being over. Just gotta wait. This video is almost a fucking hour long, but it's fine because I had a lot to talk about. I'm happy I actually sat down to re-record this video and that it ended up almost 30 minutes longer than the original one. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, adios, and here it is, your moment of zen.
The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night.